What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For those who did not see the previous episode, we pulled the SR20 out of my S13 convertible. The reason that motor was pulled is because it had crazy high oil pressure. It was spraying oil out of the blow-off valve, and ultimately cylinder number 2 had crazy low compression, like 80 or 90 psi. So today it's time to tear through that SR20 and see what the culprit, what is causing the issue. So it's time to go dig it out of the corner. It's been there for a while. Let's go get it and let's get onto it. Alright, so the SR20 is pretty much stripped on the outside. So to begin, we're going to pull the valve cover and start pulling the head to then work on the block. So let's get started. Now, before I continue, if anybody is wondering why this engine was previously in the drift car, because if you recall well, it was in this thing before being put in my convertible, it does not have rocker arm stoppers. Now, a quick backstory on this SR20. It used to be in Jeffrey's first S14. He had like a black cherry, purple S14 Zenki that he ended up selling, and the guy who purchased it ended up totaling the car not even 2 weeks after he bought it. This guy lived not far from my house, was not very mechanical, didn't have a garage, had like basic tools if not that. So we came up with an arrangement. I parted out the entire car for him, and I ended up with this SR, which I put in the S14 when I finished it in 2019. Drifted that for a couple of years before I put the LS. When I put the LS, I put this in the convertible, and not even a month later, that's when I had issues. So yeah, that's the backstory on this SR. So this thing does not have rocker arm stoppers because it has a dual guide conversion. Now, Jeffrey and I did it on this motor. He actually put this motor in the garage here. And on my old SR, my red S14 that I sold to buy my house, I had also done it, and it was a pretty decent setup. It had a GTX 30, it was making about 410 wheel horsepower. So yeah, honestly, rocker arm stoppers can be good to not spit out the rockers, but it can make you break your rocker arms. I've broken 2 rocker arms on my, not this engine, but my previous engine. So as soon as I converted to dual guide, I never had any issues after that. Same thing on this motor, never had any issues with the rockers. And the reason we do that, if you can see, this is the rocker arm. So on this side, it's pushing on, well, the lifter pushes it, and then it pushes on the valves and the valve springs under the cam. So originally, it has a guide on one side, which is sort of like, looks like a pill with a slit in the middle. And originally on the other side, it is just a shim, so it is completely flat. Now by doing that, it leaves a bit of wobble room when you're revving it high or hitting the rev limiter or have an aggressive rev limiter. You could actually spit this out. So what the rocker arm stoppers do is they prevent spitting it out, but like I said, they could break them. So instead what we do is we take an extra guide like that's on this side, we put it on the other side, and we machine the rocker arms to accept the shim. Continue taking out this cam and I'll show you what the guides look like. So as you can see there, it looks like a little pill, but it has a little slit and it accommodates the little legs that you could see under here. And what we do is, you can see this side is OEM, and you can see on this side we machined it to accommodate for the second guide. All right, let's continue stripping all the rocker arms and the guides. So as you can see, all the rockers and guides are removed, properly placed. Really important when you're taking apart an engine is to be super organized, place everything as it goes in the engine. Like that, it will not be confusing when it's time to put it back together. All right, time to pull the head studs. This actually has ARP head studs, which is very cool. And same concept as the cam caps. You sort of go in like a spiral sequence, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's undo that. So if I'm not mistaken, the head should be ready to pull off. So cleared the area, I'm gonna put the head here, and yeah. Alrighty, head is off. Not as easy to taking it off when you're alone, but you have to make sure that you lift really straight. And see, when I was lifting, I lifted crooked and then it gets jammed. But yeah, it's off. I've been, for the past couple of seconds, I've been just inspecting from the top. Nothing looks out of the ordinary. So we do know that the culprit is this piston. But obviously if it's a ringland, you're not gonna see it from the top. We'll only see it when we pull the piston out. So I'm gonna lay something down on the floor because we have to flip the motor upside down, pull the lower pan and the mid pan, and then start removing the main caps to get to the connecting rods to get to the pistons. So let's do that. I'm jumping straight to piston number 2. So we're soon gonna see what the culprit is. Woo! Well, exactly as I suspected. Look at the piston. Ringland completely shattered. You can see the pieces just like moving freely. Well, it's exactly as I suspected. It's a common issue at SR20s. Piston number 2, the ringland goes. So I'm gonna pull the other pistons out, inspect them. I've never done a bottom end on an SR20, so keep in mind the convertible is a street car. It is not a drift car. So I don't know, do I find a stock piston, you know, throw new rings on all pistons, new bearings, and call it a day, or should I put aftermarket pistons? Should I do rods? I'm not sure. I'm gonna speak to the local pros like Mike Reich and Pat Dumont, who usually tunes my cars at ACSP, but I'm not sure. All 4 pistons are out, and I was about to inspect the cylinders Now, considering the state of piston number 2, I'm a bit worried. It's very light. Let's see if it catches with my finger. No, nothing. My nail. Honestly, man, I think I'm lucky. I think I'll be able to just pass the dingleberries, because yes, that's what it's called. All right, I'm gonna call it quits right now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys want to watch, because I'm always down to do some content of what you guys want to see. In the meantime, I'm gonna speak to Mike Reisch and Pat and see what their opinion is on what I should do with this SR20. All right, thanks for watching and see you next time.